The key concept we want to discuss in this video is the fact that you absolutely must have more than just one qualified prospect if you're going to sell your business quickly and for the best price. In the business broker world, there's this old saying that having one buyer is the same thing as having none. Most prospects never buy. And if you put all your eggs in the basket of one potential buyer, well, you may wind up being very disappointed. And the key to selling sooner rather than later, and doing so at the best price, is to have multiple prospects who are each highly qualified and highly interested. But the mistake that sellers make is that the moment that they finally find a reasonable prospect, they immediately fall in love with that prospect and stop looking at additional potential buyers. The problem is that most prospects never become buyers, no matter how good they look at first. And according to the Business Broker Press, business brokers report that they need to find 12 prospects in order to find just one who winds up eventually buying a business. So if in your excitement to sell, you immediately fall in love with the first decent prospect you find, you're setting yourself up for disappointment because chances are that one person won't buy. And even if you are that rare seller who sells to the first prospect they find, having just one buyer can still hurt you because it will probably lead to a lower selling price than you could have gotten if you had multiple prospects. When you only have one potential buyer, you're giving that person the power. They hold all the cards in the negotiations. In other videos, we've talked about the fact that the most qualified buyers have the most options. We call them the member of the 10%, the 10% or less who actually buy a business. And if they're qualified to buy your business, then they're qualified to buy other businesses. Usually, lots of businesses. Most small business buyers are first-time buyers, so they're willing to consider many different types of businesses. And if they're really highly qualified, and if they're really smart, if they're the kind of person you want to take over your business, they're smart enough to check out all the opportunities. They're going to investigate lots of other businesses for sale other than yours. And so when it comes time to negotiate the price and the terms, if you only have one buyer and they have all these options, then they're going to be in the driver's seat. They can dicker and negotiate, hem and haw and stall all they want to try to get you down to the rock bottom price. And they're likely doing the same thing with any of the other businesses that they looked at and are interested in. And if you don't give in to their lowball demands, well, they can always pursue one of the other businesses that they're considering. But unless you've been developing some options for yourself, and hopefully, some high-end, high-performance options, by cultivating a pool of additional prospects all along as you've been going, you're going to be at a distinct disadvantage if you have one option and your buyer has 10 options. That's why the saying, having one buyer is the same as having none, is so often repeated among those of us in the business for sale industry, because the chances are that your first prospect, and if you only have one prospect, that one prospect will not buy. And if they do, they're going to do so on their terms, not yours. So the bottom line message of this video is to always keep an eagle eye out for additional prospects. Until you have a written commitment from a buyer, you need to keep looking for additional prospects who might become a buyer. It's that next prospect who may turn out to be the one who actually does buy your business at a price that you're happy with. If you don't keep looking and you find yourself in negotiations with this buyer, you're going to be at a distinct disadvantage because she will have more options than you do. She won't need you as much as you need her, and that will make selling harder and less profitable for you. Now, in the next video, we're going to take this one step further, and we're going to discuss how each additional prospect you find has a positive effect on the price and the terms of the sale, even if that additional prospect doesn't wind up being the ultimate buyer, because each additional prospect helps improve the behavior and the motivation level of all the other prospects. And we will talk to you in that video.